So,
Okay, what are we gonna talk about?
well, I got a few things, but
Okay.
we want to hear what happened to you last. Now, you wasn't gonna do last Thursday, but
No,
you got shamed into
got
it.
shamed into it because my co-angler,
Now, who's that?
it was Jackie Price.
Jackie Price.
He was in second place, and the guy that was ahead of him was fishing with Jack
Why?
White, and we were. As it turned out, we fished Jack White's water. I didn't know that
Oh, okay.
when I do it, but I just couldn't. Anyway, I didn't want to leave Jackie's. I didn't know who he was going to end up with, but I felt like, he
Sure.
wanted to fish with me, so we did. It didn't turn out real good for Jackie. He only caught one fish, but
Really?
it was pretty tough.
So what part of the lake were y'all in?
We fished area 3,
The west 1/3.
west 1/3, yeah,
Okay.
which is
Up in Birch, is that where y'all was at?
515 north is where we fished.
Right up
yeah,
in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Or excuse me, 514. You say 515 or 514?
Yeah, from 515.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from
Right down here.
Yeah, from 515 north.
Okay.
Anything in there.
Any up around White Oak Bay and all that?
Yeah, and all of them. Yeah. And we started off in Duck Call.
Okay.
That's where we launched down at 515 West Ramp and ran into Duck Call. And I expected to catch some fish in there. We didn't.
Uh-huh.
We didn't catch
Really?
fish in there. We stayed in there until about 8 o'clock. Now I say we didn't catch any. We didn't catch any. My first spot in Duck Call, I guess. And we came out and ran the bank and went all the way to the back. And then as we were coming down the east bank there, I caught one out from under a boathouse.
Uh-huh.
And then we looped our way back into the little small cove again. And I caught another one.
The small cove. You talking about
Yeah.
this back up in Double Oak or back on further up?
No, Duck Calls.
Oh, okay. You're still in Duck Call.
Still in Duck Call.
The small cove. Oh, okay. I thought you said you came out of Duck Call.
Well, no, we came out of the
To
small
the mouth
cove,
of it.
yeah.
Okay, I see. And you went back up in this little
Yeah.
cove right here.
And then we went back in there about 10 o'clock, and I caught my second fish, which was my biggest fish of the day. What I've done is I changed from a black swimming dinger or black yum dinger to a watermelon red. And I caught that first fish, and I thought, well, okay, So I kept, matter of fact, Jackie had caught his one fish on the watermelon red brush hog, so I changed to watermelon red, and I caught my biggest fish there inside, in the little pocket inside Duck Call. And then it was getting the time of day that there was no bite, but it was warming up, and historically, this time of the year, you can't go wrong throwing a red rattle trap. But you got to throw it and stay with it because the bites are few and far between, but
Yeah.
they do happen. So we went from there straight across,
Uh-huh.
right in there.
Back in around that island and all that.
We started out. We went around the island
Mm-hmm.
and went back up in that little
That
pocket.
little pocket right up in
Well,
here.
no, we didn't go in there. We went in this one here.
This here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I caught a fish, but it was short. Dave, when the fish is hard to come by, and you catch a 10-inch fish, that's kind of upsetting. But anyway, we kept fishing right around in there, and I finally caught another keeper, and we went from there just south of the bridge.
Okay. Right in that little area,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That little short area
Right.
right in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Right up
We
in there.
probably call it Little Pocket.
Actually doesn't have a name, does it?
Well,
But Axton's is back in there, and then,
Axton's is there. This is the one that I'm talking
okay.
about. And there's a. I finally caught my fourth fish in there, and by then it was 2:30, and I originally was going to quit early enough to go back to the Lakeview Lodge RV. I thought I thought Lakeview or somebody called it Hidden Cove or something like that.
They may do it. I'm just not aware of it.
But I have always done real well along that bank.
Uh-huh.
And I, like I say, caught one fish there, and it was time, and my original plan had been to quit early enough to go try catching some spoonfish because it was bright, sunny, and the water had cooled up. Water was down to 47 degrees, so normally that's when you start getting the spoon bite, but we waited too long, so we didn't have time to try the spoon bite.
Yeah. Now, when you say spoon, what kind of spoon are you talking about?
Hopkins spoon,
Okay.
CC spoon,
Yeah.
1 ounce chrome. Just jigging it off the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the nice thing about that is it's easy fishing, and you can get a limit in a second if you find something.
Right.
You can catch one every drop, but you got to find them first. And
Yeah.
and they hang on depth changes and things like that on the bottom and under the schools of shad, so you look around for that. Anyway, so that was the day. Went back for the weigh-in. I won. I came in first. Jack came in second. Jack's boater, or Jack's co-angler, Chuck Roy, had a 19-inch fish, which was the biggest fish of the tournament. It also was enough to put him in first place on the co-angler side.
Okay.
Jackie's one fish. He was in like third place or something. Overall, it was a slow day. It started off pretty chilly, but it wasn't like the week before. The week before started off at about the same temperature, but with rain and 20-mile-an-hour northwest winds. And I like to froze to death. This one, temperature was about the same, but the sun came out, and I had dressed more warmly. I learned after the first time I don't wear enough clothes that you can always take them off. You can't always put them on. But anyway, what I did this week that I hadn't done the previous 2 or 3 weeks is I went on my own instinct rather than relying on this good information that somebody else had. Because I've known from fishing for 20, 30 years that you can tell somebody where to go and how to do it, and they still can't do it. But that also applies to you. Somebody can tell you where to go and how to do it, and that don't mean that you're going to do it. So we went and did what I felt comfortable with, and we got lucky and it worked.
What was your water temperature up there?
46, 47. It warmed up. It got up. Found some 50-degree water later in the day. But overall, it was a pleasant day fishing. Air temperature finally got up. Seems like it was that afternoon. It was 65 or something up on the way home. But anyway, it was It's one of those days during the winter. We normally start fishing at 8 o'clock, and we started a little bit before 8. But it's one of those days when you'd almost like to stay out there for another hour.
Yeah. So did y'all fish to noon? Is that what y'all?
We fished till 3.
Okay, going to 3 now.
Yeah, we go 8 to 3.
It was one time y'all were leaving at noon, and
that's the hot weather.
Okay.
Through the really hot months, we stop at noon, and that poses problems of its own because you forget, if you're not careful, you'll forget you don't have the afternoon.
Right. Yeah.
You got to make hay while the sun shines on those warm days like that.
So you're not fishing this week?
No, I didn't. Since I didn't do well week before last, I didn't make the cut for the championship for hardcore.
Yeah.
I was angler of the year in hardcore by a substantial amount, but you still had to fish in the top 5, finish in the top 5 or 6 in that tournament Thursday 2 weeks ago, and I didn't. So Jack and I, neither one of us did.
Yeah.
Which, we would have bet you would have made it, but we didn't.
Yeah. So do we have any other tournaments this week?
No, there's nothing going on other than the hardcore championship is this Thursday.
Yeah.
So as far as
let's see, we're in November.
Yeah, there are not many.
And this is what's the day? The 19th.
Yeah.
And let's go down to about the
drop
19th.
down.
Boy, yeah, it gets.
They stop once you get past the.
Yeah, it's gone. So maybe next month. What's the next month look like? About the same?
Well, you click on next month there. Now, January starts off. Or
Well, no, December. You got
okay,
December.
Yeah, December's pretty slow too.
It's slow, yeah.
That's 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm working. I'm getting ready to. I'm starting on the changing and everything.
Okay, so you'll have JC Outdoors and a few other things.
But
Maybe.
it's a slow month.
It is, just looking at it. I mean, there's like that event. I mean, I don't see anything else here before.
It's interesting because just for the past couple of years has December been so slow. Before that, there'd be 20 or 30 tournaments in December, but I guess everybody got enough of the cold weather or something.
Well,
January is when everything cranks up.
You know, November, December, when a bunch of big fish have been caught.
Right.
So
historically, it's a good time to be out there. You just got to dress for it. And this year, I don't know how long it's going to last, but the fish are still on the bank.
Oh, really?
They're still, most of them are being caught in, well, the water is cleared up back in the coves so that you've got, basically it's clear out to about where it's 2 feet deep. But from that 2 foot line out to 4 foot's where all the fish are.
Yeah.
They're still up shallow. They're not moved. They haven't moved out. Nobody's claimed to have found them in the back of the creeks and stuff like they're supposed to do. Some of the coves are just absolutely full of shad, and you can go in there and fish those shad balls all the time.
Oh yeah.
Nobody catches a fish out.
Really?
They're just shad Brazilian. But anyway.
Well, I was going to talk a little bit about that meeting you and I went to, the
yeah.
Sportsman's Association. I went to the first meeting that, and it was, what was that,
It was just a membership meeting where we were trying to drum up some.
And it's just really impressive, the things, and I became a member, and they went over some of the projects they've got, and they've got a bunch of different projects. I'm amazed. It's like, you say there's about 50-something members in
50
this?
odd members, yeah.
And the amount of things they actually do for the lake is phenomenal. And it's, I'll just pull up their page here and just show you a little bit about what they do have. This is that barge, I guess, that they provide for.
That's our live. That belongs to the association. That's our live release boat.
Okay.
It goes to all the major tournaments. We've got 2 300-gallon tanks on it. It's aerated. It's got oxygen. We've got the facilities to fizz any fish that are showing distress from coming out to eat. Periodically, they'll take it out into the middle of the lake and open the doors at the bottom and dump the fish.
This is part of that restocking with the Parks and Wildlife. Is that right? Or?
No, this is where Lake Fork Sportsman's Association started. Actually, was with the live release boat.
Okay.
Because so many of the tournaments were just they weren't handling the fish right.
Okay, this is the tournaments themselves.
Yes. So this was an attempt to correct the mistakes that some of the tournaments were making in handling the fish. And when the live release boat's there, the mortality on fish is almost zero. During the summer, it'll be 1% or something, but virtually every fish that's brought in, as soon as they get it weighed, it goes back down to the live release boat. It goes into treated water that's highly oxygenated and gives the fish a chance to chill out, get to feeling good, and then they take them out and drop them.
So it's got a doors or something that open in the bottom?
In the bottom, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, that open and they just drop them in that way. They don't have to handle them again. Once they put them in the water, they don't touch them again. They also, on the overs, they take scale samples, which go to Parks and Wildlife to do DNA studies to see, and Parks and Wildlife's been really excited to see the percentage of fish, the overs, that are not pure Floridas. There for quite a while. If it wasn't a pure Florida, they just gave it back to you if it was a Sherlunker.
Yeah.
Now, because so many of the big fish aren't pure Floridas, they're actually breeding those pure Floridas too, or those.
You're right. They use mixture,
hybrids,
hybrid. What do you call them?
Yeah. So.
That's just one part of what
That's
y'all, and
just one small
and-
part. That's year round. That's consistent.
yeah. So and then they actually donated another boat, didn't they, to
Yeah,
the
we found another barge and donated it to Parks and Wildlife so they can use it for habitat restoration, anything they need to move stuff around on the lake. They didn't have anything. They were depending on getting somebody to borrow it. And you know, people that have nice fishing barges don't want a bunch of stuff put on it. So this is just a flat deck with the console, and we got a motor on it, and we've donated that to Parks and Wildlife for use as whatever they want to use it for. Plus, we get to use it when we have projects that we're using, like the planting the button bushes and that sort of thing.
the button bushes. That's another thing. I had no idea they did that. You know, and that's with the FFA. Is that what right?
The Yanis FFA is our partner on several of the things. The button bushes. They're growing cattails. There's some kind of a couple of different kinds of grasses that they're growing, and we're going out and planting it. You know, while the lake's down, this is a good time to do stuff like that. And the Yanis FFA, like I say, has been an integral part of that. They've really been a big help for us.
Now, is that part of where they make the habitats also? That's the FFA as well?
FFA also does that. That's correct, yeah. And I don't think there's a picture of the barrels on there. But
I know, but I think I might have a stock photo.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it. And,
I don't remember who came up with the idea or the design. We just adopted it from someone, but these 55-gallon plastic barrels, I take them, drill holes in them, and put pieces of PVC pipe through them, and it looks like a big cuckoldar or something.
I've seen that, yeah.
They're probably 5 or 6 feet in diameter, of course 4 feet tall, and they weight them down and take them out and put them in the lake. They try to put them in specific patterns to accomplish different things, but the main thing they do, the lake has gotten to where 20 years ago there were bushes everywhere that the small fish could hide in.
Right.
There was grass everywhere that the fry could hide in, and the shad and everything else. There was plenty of cover. There's not any anymore. So these provide a place for the shad, for brim, for the small bass, for all the small fish to get up in here and hide and stay away from the predators and give them a chance to get started to where they get up to be big enough to take care of themselves. So that's something that we've really been involved in for the past 2 years, and will continue to be for years. And on the same website, just right next to it, you've got a thing that's GPS coordinates.
Right,
for
yeah.
where they are.
Where they actually have the locations for them if you want to fish them, you know,
That's
and
right.
or you know
And that's
just want to see
available.
where it's at.
That's available to anybody that wants to look at it.
Right, yeah.
Just punch those numbers into your GPS, and you can go right to the spot.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing what they're doing with the kids too. Having like I understand the shop teacher there at Yanis, I guess it is, that helps with those. Is that right?
Well, the shop teacher helps with the barrels and everything. The kids, I guess you're talking about what.
That's
the
what I'm
kids
talking about.
do.
The youth that
Yeah.
they get involved in that.
Right.
They have that going for them, and then they also they're helping with the bass clubs, the high school bass clubs.
High school fishing clubs.
I mean, the meeting you and I went to, they gave out a lot of stuff for
we
that.
did. We gave out, I don't know how many, but it was a big truckload. of
It was
fishing tackle.
wads of $high reels and baits and all kinds of stuff that I saw.
Yeah.
It was several tables full that they donated, and I guess they do raffles and that sort of stuff. Is that how that goes?
That's how we make money. Most of that stuff, or not most of it, probably half of it, is just stuff that people have donated that they no longer use, and rods and reels, and we refurbish it. And some of the, I think Real Time Rods works on the rods, and RT's reel repair on 515. Anytime somebody gives us a reel, it goes to RT, and he refurbishes it, and and then we match them up and make sets and give them away to the kids that need some help. Because fishing's it's not necessarily a cheap hobby to get involved
No.
in, even when you don't have the expense of a boat, the
Right.
equipment. You can get away with just a little bit, but the little bit to do well it's fairly expensive, and
Yeah.
So we do a lot of that for the kids that go to school in the counties that Lake Fork touches. That's the area that we work on.
Right. Yeah.
So
Y'all get, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a member to help, do you?
No.
I mean, I imagine they have a lot of people that help that aren't members,
we
know,
do
that,
yes.
I mean, and to be a member is only like $50 a year, and I mean, and they don't ask you a bunch of things like, can you donate this or that?
Yeah.
They want you to help, but they don't ask for a lot of that,
Yeah,
you know.
if you're
So
available to help, it's encouraged. But some of the stuff is kind of fun. I enjoy at the tournaments. They sell raffle tickets, and I get a kick out of selling raffle tickets.
oh yeah, I've seen you do it.
That's fun because I tell them all you gotta do is ask. People will buy it because
Yeah.
got some great prizes.
Oh yeah,
And we sell a lot of raffle tickets and give away a lot of stuff like that. So.
Well, and then also what y'all also do is you help with the restocking program to select areas and places that the Parks and Wildlife doesn't ordinarily go to.
Yeah. Parks and Wildlife, when they do restocking, they just go to a boat ramp and dump them.
Yeah,
And that's
it's like a buffet for bass after that. I mean, it's
the bass and the brim just love.
you're
that.
just feeding the fish. I mean, if you don't have a good habitat for them to go immediately to, and they do that. They've been taking greater care of selecting those areas.
We have, and we'll get back to it hopefully this year, where club members that have boats will take fish into remote areas. Mm-hmm. And they bag them up like they're minnows, and
Right.
go back way back up in the bushes and turn them loose there.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing that, but that really gets a good spread on the fingerlings, better than just dropping them at a boat ramp.
Yeah. Well, if you owned a lot on Fork, or you fish Fork all the time, or you guide on Fork, I don't know why you wouldn't be a member of this club, or at least volunteer to help with this thing, because it does nothing but help the lake, and it's this association is very impressive what they do, and I don't know of any other group that does more than that.
There
do.
isn't one.
You know.
We won national awards, and the Parks and Wildlife. Oh, my dog, I can't remember what it is, but last year we were inducted into the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame.
Right, yeah. Which is a great honor.
Yeah,
Right?
it is. But it's just,
This just started with a handful of people that just started thinking that there's something need to be done to help, and then also they have the deal with the restoring the hydrilla back in the lake too. There's another program there that they help with.
That all fishermen, I tell them that if you'd like to see hydrilla back in the lake, you really ought to join the association, because we need more people saying that. Mm-hmm. Because hydrilla's always been looked upon as something bad. Now they're beginning to realize that no, it's not bad either. It's probably the best stuff there is for fishing.
Well, and it has a cleansing effect to the water as well. I'm sure. I mean, it
does, because when the lake was full of hydrilla, the water looked good. The water does not look as good as it used to.
No.
It's not, it's not muddy, but it's not clear either.
Right. Yeah. I'd like to see it get back closer to those old days that it was, and I think everybody should help with that,
And the way they do that is interesting, but I don't know who realized this, but apparently what happens when hydrilla sprouts, Lake Fork has a healthy, is an understatement, turtle population.
Yeah.
And turtles eat the sprouts.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've taken hoops It's not hardware cloth. It's the 2x4 square wire.
That's that welded wire stuff
Welded wire stuff, yeah.
for
And
concrete or whatever
yeah.
you use for.
And for T-posts, and put out loops of this about 4 foot in diameter. And in fairly short order, you can go back and check it, and the hydrilla has sprouted inside that and has flourished, but just 2 inches inside that wire all the way around. As long as the turtleneck is, they kept it.
Yeah.
They keep it clipped off.
Yeah.
So
That's the source of the biggest probably problem about
Yeah.
losing the hydrilla.
Probably some chemical changes caused the demise of it, but the turtles are stopping
Yeah.
the comeback because it sprouts in fairly shallow water, and that's where the turtles concentrate. Turtles eat a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but we're really hoping that'll happen, and working towards making it happen.
Yeah. Well, it's a good program, and they all you ought to have more people helping with it. As many people as you could. So.
Yes.
Anyway, that's about what I got. I did notice that I don't normally do politics,
Yeah.
but I was looking on. They had Eric Swalwell. He's a Democrat from California. Was having an interview with Chris Matthews on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody passed gas in the middle of it, really loudly. Yeah, and then nobody wanted to claim credit for it, and. Yeah, and so there's like a controversy about who cut the wind on this interview, and in the past the Democrats have stood firmly behind Eric Swalwell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to stand behind him right now.
If that's the case, no, I don't think
Yeah.
I would either. So.
Although they could claim a victory, maybe the only thing ain't passed this last year.
Really? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's big news there. Today's news. Actually, I do. It smells like Russian interference.
You've been saving that.
I'll save that for last.